DIY camera arms. That's this episode of Team Point Shoot Outdoors. So I've been using this camera arm for 2 seasons. I made it myself. The main part of the arm here is 1-inch aluminum tube. It's cut to 16 inches long each piece. This is just a camera head I bought off of eBay. These are 5/16 bolts that hold together, and between the two I have a nylon washer just to cut down on the noise. For the part that goes into the arm, I just have a piece of 2 pieces of black steel pipe. This end is got a piece of Gorilla duct tape with epoxy over the top of it to give it a snug fit down in there. A 90-degree elbow with another 1/4-inch piece of black steel pipe. Each of them are 5 inches long, and that is also epoxy or JB welded into a 1/2-inch piece of 6-inch steel pipe that is epoxied in, and then after I let the epoxy set, I bolted it in there, so it's not going anywhere. That's it for the arm. This is the new base I just built. It is a piece of 1-inch aluminum tube that is 23 3/4 inches long. You can make it a little bit shorter up here. It's just happened to be the length that I cut it. What I did is 2.5 inches from the top, I put a bolt through. There's a nut inside. It's basically a spring nut that goes into a different track, but I cut it to fit in here, so it's just friction fit in there. And I just went to Walmart and bought a piece of webbing, a tie down. It's the one that's got the button, so it's easy to do with the welds off and on. I cut the loops out of it. I put a 5/16 bolt through here with a brass spacer, and I just used the loop that the old S-hook was in, and then I just tied a new loop on this end. That bolt is, in total, is 3 1/4 inches long. I put a fender washer and a lock gun on the end, so it should never go anywhere. Now, about 11 inches down from the top, there's a 1/4 inch, it's a 1/4 20 bolt. It is 3 inches long. I bought all these long and cut them down, so the final length is 3 inches. It has a regular washer and a regular nut, and then another regular washer, and then a piece of 3/4 inch steel square tube, a rubber washer, a fender washer, then a lock nut on it. Now that piece of steel tube is 6 inches long. I have 2 conduit fasteners that you fasten it to a wall with, and I have a piece of 1/2-inch black steel pipe in here, and just for extra security, I put lock nuts on each of the bolts that fasten it in there. It's not going anywhere. I just put those, and that black steel pipe is 5 inches long, and I just put the conduit fasteners at the bottom and the top of each thread, just so I get even spacing. The most complicated part of this is right in here, and I'll get a close-up shot and show it to you. I used a fastener, and I don't know the name, but you can buy them at the Home Depot. I'll put the name on the screen. I just cut the tabs. I cut some tabs on the bottom of this tube. So actually, in essence, if there's another 1/2 inch to a 1/4 inch somewhere in there, tab hanging down inside of this fastener. I just took the original bolt that came with it, and that's friction fit on there. It's not going anywhere. I've tried to get it off. Plus, it sits on this piece of flat steel. And what I did in the other hole is I took a 3/8 bolt, carriage bolt. Now both of these are both 3/8 carriage bolts. I took a hole saw and made a handle and epoxied it to the bolt. And this is just friction. It slides back and forth on this. Pretty smooth. I got to do a little sanding on it just to make it work just perfect. And that's just bolted on there. I got a 3.5-inch bolt with 4 regular nuts and a regular washer to space it out. I didn't have any more spacers, so I just used nuts. I used what I had. And then I put 2 nuts just to give me some adjustment on the outside in the washer, and they're acting as jam nuts, so same as a lock nut. The most expensive part of this was this foot right here, and that is a Lone Wolf climbing stick foot. I just bolted it on there. The whole principle of this is so you can get some adjustment in and out and get the adjustment side to side. I'm going to take this off of here, and then I'm going to just show you how to hang it. So let me get a new camera angle. Alright, so the first step is when you get up on the tree, you got to make sure that this is out a little bit. So when you put this up against the tree, it'll be tipped in just a little bit. So then you just take it, wrap it around the tree, try to get your loop so it's not all tangled up here, but it doesn't matter yet. Take your loop that's on the end of this, put it over there, and just pull it tight. Then you take it and you cinch it down like that, and basically you're done there. Now this is the extra little tensioning point and where you make all your micro adjustments here. You adjust this out till it looks pretty plumb on a tree. Pretty tight. I always just give it a little extra tug just to make sure it'll go, and go a little bit farther than you think you need to go. Then you take your camera arm, just slide it down in there, and if it's not good, your arm will drift, okay? And if that happens, let me see, if you're not perfect, so what you do is you just adjust it down, put it to where it stops drifting, put your arm the other way, make sure it doesn't drift the other way, and then you're good to go. And what I like about this is it has compacted my setup up. I've taken a bar out of this, so it's much smaller, easier to put in my pack. And this is mobile. It's not, my other one was a square box. It was about that big to make it flat against a tree. So they're really easy there. Now to take this off, you just screw this in a little bit, give yourself a little bit, push this button, pull the loop off, you're done. Easy. Alright, this is just a quick down and dirty video of how you make your own camera arm and camera base. If you go over to my website, teampointshoot.com, there'll be a diagram with some measurements and parts list of what you'll need. If you check me out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, I appreciate it. Subscribe and follow and do all that stuff. The links will be right here. If you don't already, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the little bell right next to it if you don't mind. That way you'll be alerted every time I put an upload up. And if you have any questions that are just right off the top of your head, go ahead and leave them down in the comments. I'll get to them. So I appreciate your time. Appreciate your view. Thank you all. Have a great day and good luck hunting out there.